Let me introduce Craig Edwards to the show here to talk some golfing tips. Hello, Craig. Welcome.
Evening, Natalie.
How's everything going?
How are you?
Very good, thank you. Very good. I'm actually just, I'm off to Florida on Thursday. I'm filming Friday and Monday from Florida, but I'm all good. I'm sort of like getting into holiday mode, am I? And yeah, looking forward to talking a little bit of golf tips here with these tremendously high odds that you like to give us.
Yeah, well, there's going to be plenty of them this week, I think.
I know. Well, I've been working on your article a little bit. So we've just uploaded. We're about to upload the Byron Nelson article. We have just uploaded the British Masters, but we'll start with Byron Nelson. First question is what sort of course is Trinity Forest, and who will it suit?
Well, it was built on Wasteland by Ben Crenshaw. He was the main designer. There was another one, but he's the one that people will know. And unusually, he built it on Wasteland with the idea of it being a links-type course, where very much US PGA Tour players don't play on links-type courses unless they come over for the British Open. So it is quite unusual, and it's a really different test for them. Last year, they had a real wet weather front go through Texas, and it meant the course played soft, which made it play easy. Mm-hmm. So I think, though, the last time I looked at the forecast, there was wet weather forecast this year as well, so the course's defences may not be as strong. I think if you got on the course when it was dry weather, running fast, then you would see a different course totally. So you know, it is very unusual for the US PGA Tour. Some of the pros won't even probably entertain it because they're used to playing quite target golf every week, where they rely on the yardages heavily and you know, not so much imagination and a bit of creation around the greens, really.
My question now is Brooks Koepka. How do you pronounce his Brooks?
Brooks Koepka, yeah.
Yeah. Is there value on him, or would you say the odds are too low?
I would let it go this week because I think he'll have one eye on next week, which is the PGA Championship, the major. So this will be his first outing since he lost to Tiger at the Masters. So he will use this week to sharpen his game. He did come second a couple of years ago in the Byron Nelson. That was on the old course, though. So this course is only their second year playing it. So I do think the demands of the course will suit him. He can play the US Open type courses and played well at the British Open. So I certainly expect him to play well this week. But I do think he'll have half an eye on making sure he's properly prepared for next week's test.
Yeah.
Two major championships last year, the one the year before, his whole schedule will be based around major championships, and he's a proper winner of them. I mean, he's only been playing them for like 3 or 4 years. He's already won 3, whereas someone like Dustin Johnson's only won 1 in his total career. So you've got to think that I'll be leaving Brooks Koepka alone this week, but he may well win. He's got the class.
Yeah, all right, but maybe too low. Aaron Wise, can he defend his crown?
Yeah, definitely. There's not been that much defending of crowns on the US PGA Tour of the year, unless you're Tiger Woods or Brooks Koepka. There was a guy called Natali Rydstrom. He used to be quite good at defending titles he'd won. And I quite like Aaron Wise. He played well at the Masters. First time he played well all season. And then last week at the Wells Fargo, I liked him again. And he played better than his finishing position. He was quite in and out of contention, getting right up to the top of the leaderboard, then dropping a shot or two. I expect he'll be sharper this week. And this should be a peak week for Aaron Wise. If he's going to win all season, this will probably be the week.
Interesting. All right. So I want to keep an eye with. And Spieth, do you expect him to play well?
Well, I think he's playing because it's in Texas. It's his home state. He always supports the golf there. he needs to find some form.
Yeah.
It's difficult to support him. I mean, I love watching him. He's a mercurial player. There's something quite savvy and cavalier about the way he goes about his business. But at the moment, he needs something more substantial. He'll shoot a 66 to lead after round one, then shoot a 76 round two, and he's got whatever's gone on with Jordan Spieth. He's lost his edge at the moment. I mean, hopefully he will get it back soon, but at the odds, I would not be supporting him this week, and he'll have all the media demands being in his home state as well. He'll have a lot of other attention on him and things to do, so I would not be supporting him.
Yeah, probably some home crowd support though. What are the long shots that you like? So we're going to get into the players that you actually do like, and where's the value on the each way? Right.
Well, I like Keith Mitchell. He won the Honda Classic already this year. Really impressive young player. I followed him a lot last year. He didn't win, but he got placed an awful lot. He won the Honda Classic in impressive style. He saw off Brooks Koepka, if I remember rightly. Had a few weeks in the doldrums since, and then last week he was back in the top 10. Last year he got placed second or third here. I really like him. I think he was 40 to 1 he opened. I don't know if there's any 40 to 1 still about, but 33 to 1's absolutely fine. He would be my strongest bet this week at the price. And he's the sort of player, he's in such an upswing of a young career that you'd expect him, if he hits the top of the leaderboard, to probably go on and win it this week. I can't see any reason not to back Keith Mitchell this week. He would be my strongest bet, definitely, Natalie.
Okay.
Down below, guy I like. He played well last week, and I managed to back him on the Betfair exchange at about 90 to 1 for a top 20 finish, and he managed to get it last week. Brendan Todd, a player that totally lost form on the PGA Tour, having won a couple of times, made a really strong impact. And as often happens, players just totally lose the plot, the confidence goes. And this season he's been playing on sponsors' invites. He caught my eye at the end of last season. He pre-qualified somewhere with a round of 64, and I've been following him since. And I think last week was the first week he'd yielded a profit on the top 20 market. So he is a winner of this title previously, and he has also finished second, not at this course. But you would think, having had his best performance in a few years last week, coming to an area where he's won before, he'll be looking forward to this week. Not quite sure if the course will suit him, but he's 12 to 1 a top 20 finish. I think he's 300 to 1 in places each way. I won't put anyone off having a very small bet at 300 to 1, having a decent bet on top 20. I do really like his chances. He came good last week, which I kind of wasn't hoping he would, even though I won money, because I knew he was going to come good somewhere. And he might have even been 500 to 1 this week if he'd not looked so good last week. And I always like Texas players or players that have grown up in Texas, that coming back to the area, often also players that have been to university, college in Texas and play for the collegiate teams. They're very good to follow. So you got Colt Knost, who was brought up in Texas, though he's not Texan. He played well last week for the first time in a long, long time. And he's a ridiculously big price in places. Martin Piller, struggling to get too many starts on the PGA Tour, but did play well a few weeks ago in Mexico. And I followed him in previously on the Texas swing, and he often plays well. So I always like to know where the player's coming from their area, because not only that, they'll be in their own bed this week. They won't be like Jordan Spieth. They won't have the paparazzi after them all week. They'll just be able to come and go and concentrate on their golf.
Go home to their own house and that definitely plays a point. All right, great stuff. Again, all written down there over on oddsmarket.com. So do go check that out. And quickly, just talking a little bit about the British Masters here. What are you liking here? How are you playing the British Masters? What court does it suit? And who's taking your money in right now?
Who's taking my money? Well, it's a brand new course for the European Tour. It's Hillside. Yeah. It's got a rich history though. It's hosted all the amateur championships. It's a link style course. It is on the Open Rota, but it has never hosted the Open, and it's widely renowned as the best course never to have hosted the Open. Greg Norman said it's got the best back nine of any course in Great Britain, and so we're looking for links players. Tommy Fleetwood is the hosting professional because he was born and raised in Southport, I believe, definitely raised in Southport, and I think he'll be distracted. He's the favourite, so we will go straight past him. I don't like to back too many favourites. So when I was looking at the old form of the Amateur Championship, a couple of guys stuck out. First one was Tom Lewis, who has been a real improver on the European Tour for the last 9 months. And he's been chasing a spot in the top 50 in the world, so he's been jet setting and probably shouldn't have been. Now, back in England this week, he loves links golf. I really like Tom Lewis's chances this week. In that 2011 Amateur Championship, another guy from it is Ashley Chesters, and I think he reached the last 16 and Tom Lewis reached the quarters. Ashley Chesters is another guy I've got in my notes for link style courses. He's found it very difficult to win on the European Tour, and at times quite difficult to get in the top 4 or 5, but he's a very consistent player and he makes a really rock solid top 20 bet. A lot of these players will have no experience of the course whatsoever. So I like to side with them two in particular. And then we've got a local lad for first round leader, Matthew Baldwin. He's playing on a sponsor's invite. And I often follow him on the European Tour, especially in the first round leader market. Some players they have such a prolific record in the first round leader market. It's quite astounding, and he's one of them. So a small bet on him to be first round leader. I think you can get 150 to 1, but it's easily 125 to 1 each way. It wouldn't surprise me. Again, he's got his home comforts. He may have a few distractions though, because I think he's going to be quite popular there. But I'm hoping he can just keep it together for the first round, definitely. And I definitely like them 3 players because they all have some experience of the course. And then quite like I was looking in the English Amateur Championships because they all play similar linksy types open courses, Carnoustie, places like that. And Romain I can't even pronounce it, Lanask, he's a French guy, about 50 to 1, 66 to 1. He won the English Amateur Championship in 2015. And he started off brilliantly on his professional career. And then he had a period of losing his confidence. And I think it's second season syndrome, I talk about it, when a player suddenly has expectations, they expect to earn hundreds of thousands, and suddenly when it doesn't come easy, they lose their confidence quickly and it snowballs. But in these last few months, he's put together a solid looking form. Last week he was placed, and we know he likes link style courses. I'm taking a chance that the course will suit him, but I think it will. Normally linksy players do repeat, so I think he's a sporting bet as well. And then finally, Scotland lad from Aberdeen, David Law. He won down under 1,000 to 1 at the start of the year, No one could have seen it coming. He won with an eagle on the 72nd hole. It's quite an interesting backstory to him. He's not always had it easy, and he's had a few ups and downs, not of his own making. But he's really on track now. And the 2 weeks ago at the Trophy Hassan in Morocco was the first time he showed any form since winning down under. From Aberdeen, he'll like link style courses. He will have been brought up on them. So I'm definitely, he's 300 to 1, 12 to 1, top 10, top 20 finish. I like the outsiders this week. I honestly think that the top of the market is opposable. So just some small bets on those outsiders that I've recommended, I would say.
All right, great stuff with some fantastic odds there. That was Craig Edwards at EdwardsTips_. Give him a follow on Twitter. Pleasure talking to you, Craig. We'll check in with you soon. Thank you everybody for watching. And yeah, take care.
Have a good holiday.
Thanks.